March in review, let's go. It's been a weird one this month. You'll see. Where shall we start? Shall we start with my photos being stolen by a vegan group? Shall we start with the chaos of Windows? Or shall we start with scarf program? No, I know, we'll start with the photos. I got a message from one of my friends saying, hey, is this your photo? And it was a photo of me in my wheelchair. I'll put a link to it down in the description below if you want to see it. But it's me in my wheelchair. I've got like a rainbow puffer jacket on, just looking cool as I often do. And it was for a vegan event about, I'm not entirely sure, but it was like a book talk on a book called Beasts of Burden, Animal Liberation and Disability Liberation, and the cover of the book featured a picture of a cow in a wheelchair next to a person in a wheelchair. I don't want my face attached to that at all, because it was a very ableist narrative of we treat disabled humans better than animals. Shocking, because we're not animals. I obviously don't advocate for animal cruelty, and the farming industry could probably be a little bit better, but also, why did it have to be my photo? Because we reverse image searched it and it was really far down my Instagram feed, was the only place you could find it. So did they find me and then scroll far enough to find a picture that looked disabled enough, or did they go through a tag and see, that's the picture we want? Because I'm not vegan. So that was a choice. I posted on the event page being like, hey, why are you using my picture? I'm not vegan, please remove it because gross. And a couple of people piled in, and then my friend who has free calls to America, because it was an American event, he rang them up and being like, hey, stop it. And he fixed it. Yay. So the moral of that story, don't steal photos. Just ask first, please. I would have said no, but ask anyway. Next update is a hearing aid update. The last one of these I did was I got new hearing aids and I hate them, and then they replaced them with my old hearing aids, pretty much. So I went to my audiology appointment to go and get the same hearing aids but with a volume control, and they said, hey, we're uncomfortable with how much volume you're asking for because your hearing test doesn't indicate that you need that much volume. So we're going to refer you to ENT to be tested for audio processing disorder, which wouldn't shock me at all if I had it, but also still deaf. So I'm now on the waiting list for that, and I still don't have the hearing aids that I was supposed to have with a volume control. It shouldn't be this hard, but I will keep you updated on whether I have audio processing disorder and what they decide to do for that, because a lot of sources say that hearing aids don't help. So whether they let me keep my hearing aids because still deaf, on top of any potential processing disorder, who knows? Who knows? I also talked about some chaos. So one video this month, which I will link to up here, talking about what is a Book of Shadows and where can you buy one. I mentioned, hey, we've moved because there's chaos in my life. So I was supposed to get new windows fitted in my bedroom. So for some context, I live in private rented accommodation. I have 3 housemates, but we are all independent of each other, even though we are friends. And my landlord has decided that I need new windows for funsies, I guess. That was supposed to happen a couple of weeks ago. I moved everything away from the window, shoved it all on my bed, only for the morning to come and like, oh yeah, we haven't made the glass. Why are you here? So that didn't happen, and my room was just a chaotic mess, and I just couldn't be bothered to clean it on the day. And then I ran out of time to film a video, so I ended up filming on my floor, just over there. But as you're watching this, my windows, allegedly, are going to be being fitted. So spoiler alert, I'm not filming this today. I'm filming this yesterday. Another thing that happened this month was Ostara, which is the pagan festival of light. It's a festival of many things, but that's what I'm calling it. And I attended an online weekend camp with lots of talks, and it was great. Ostara blessings to you if you also celebrate. I didn't make a video on what Ostara was because I didn't feel qualified to, but maybe next year. Let me know if you want to see it. The last sort of life update, kind of. I have been advised multiple times by multiple people, because of having visual snow syndrome and the struggles that I talk about, to try a white cane. I know nothing about white canes and I'm kind of a bit too shy to ask, but this is me asking. If you have any experience with white canes, although mine would probably have to be red and white because I also have hearing loss and deaf, so any sort of cane advice would be helpful. I don't know what cane to get. I know I can talk to the RNIB, but I very much feel like, not an imposter, but I feel like there are people that need their services more. So if you also want to talk me out of that, that would be great. I'm opening my mind to trying a white cane and not feeling visually impaired enough. Today is Trans Day of Visibility, so to remind you, I am transgender, I'm non-binary, that's the trans flag, that's the genderqueer flag, that's the asexual flag, which isn't a gender identity, but those two are my gender flags. I go by they, them, and I just exist. Here I am. Hi, I'm visible. I will be doing Pride Month this year, and I have spent a lot of time this month planning that and thinking of ideas of videos to make. If you have any suggestions, put them down in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell, yada yada yada. So the fun stuff. This is the fun bit that everybody waits for. How much scarf progress have I done? Not much, because I didn't expect the level of chaos in my life this month. There has been some done, but really not much, probably about this much. But I do actually have a slot tomorrow when I'm not allowed in my room. I'm just going to be knitting, so probably the actual scarf progress of the month will be a lot more than it is. My goal of reading one book a month, I'm almost there. I have been reading Lord of the Flies, and Lord, I've almost finished. I've got like a chapter amount. I have 2 chapters left to go, and I'm going to read that after this video, maybe tomorrow in the chaos window. But my thoughts, I do not remember it being that graphic, so if you have triggers around dead bodies, it's graphic, so maybe not the book for you. It's not like I remember it, but also it's been an interesting read. I don't really understand why it was one of those things that we were all made to study. Like, I do, but I have complicated feelings about this. I'm kind of enjoying it, but also it's like, maybe 3 stars, 3.5. It's not bad, but I don't understand the hype, basically. But once I've read it, I will feel better for actually having read it all the way through, rather than what we did in school, which is like a handful of random chapters and then analyse the living shit out of it. Things that I bought this month. This cool glasses chain, or a glasses lanyard. It's got little moons on it. Hold on. It's got little moons on it. You can kind of see it, I hope. This is really helpful actually, because of my light sensitivity, when I go outside I sort of have to change glasses a lot. So I've got like sunglasses which are like the big boys, and these are just like my day glasses. And now I can just take them off and have them around my neck while I put my sunglasses on, rather than trying to put them in another box. Maybe I'll get another lanyard for my sunglasses so I can just swap them over, but that feels really extra. Maybe if I'm going to be outside all day. I also got these badges from Doodle People. Let's have a conversation on visual snow syndrome, and hello, I am chronically ill and there is no cure. Very light-hearted, obviously, but I'm so bored of people offering me their cures when there just isn't one right now. I also bought a record player. Very pretty. Oh god. And it opens up.
Ta-da! Gorgeous.
Arguably more excitingly, I am an Ev head, and Evanescence released a new album and I bought the vinyl because I now have a record player to play them on. That's where I listened to their new album all together for the first time. It was incredible. I sobbed. It was great. I also bought some new masks and altered them. They are currently in the wash, but would you like to see a mask haul and me talking about how I altered some masks? Because masks do need to be replaced after a while. Sorry for the framing change, I ran out of space on my SD card. Masks you bought at the start of the pandemic might be showing signs of wear and tear, so they might need to be replaced. I wear my masks for cold urticaria and they help me breathe outside without pain and wheezing and struggling. I've been wearing them for about 2.5, 3 years now, and I still own the first masks I ever wore, so I'm starting to go through my collection and pick out ones that don't fit, don't get worn, and are showing signs of wear and tear. So the inside of one of mine was really badly stained, so I decided it was time for it to move on. And that means I get to buy new masks. And now that the pandemic is sort of ebbing a bit, everyone's already got their masks, I feel less bad about replacing them. That has been my month. It's been an odd one with full of chaos, but today should be the last day of chaos and back to regular scheduled nonsense. So don't forget to like this video, drop a comment down below if any of the videos I have suggested sound good to you, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Videos go up every Saturday at 6 PM UK time with at least one bonus video every single month. See you!